Hello, my name is Dominic Underhaul and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we are on the experimental server, and all I wanted to do was just have a little bit of a look at some of the new toys we've got access to. So the list we've got here, there's quite a lot of new units that are going to be doing different things, and what I'm going to do is just run through an AI game to see how these all work in practice. The list isn't, put together for any particular purpose, it's just a load of new toys. You can see the art style is very similar to these, so we're going to have the same faction for almost all of them. I believe it's going to be the Aoeti, and honestly, they look absolutely awesome, so I'm really keen to get into this. What we've got Nuisance, so it's a cheap unit that gives units electrified, which is when they perform actions they deal damage. Zapparanenki, who's really expensive, pulls things in, gives them electrified and deals damage to them. Sludge Sprayer Inian makes some territory, so makes some sludge piles, so makes some terrain for the battlefield. Reti Wrangler Ma puts Retis on things, which I'm assuming these little blobs, and then fires a laser to basically make them all go boom and deal more damage, which sounds awesome. Captivator Xianya is a big bug that immobilizes people basically, and when it takes damage unimmobilizes someone. But basically you can just capture more and more things, so if you've got like a few melee units nearby, you can maybe stay safe and deal with that. We've got Salvager Zaka, so that can basically mean when a unit dies it can potentially go back to the bridge instead, and also can deal 2 damage to a crew and give it charge and electrified for the turn, so you can give that to your own crew if you want to, or you can give it to the enemy as well. We've got Glitter, so when a target unit takes damage, restore nearby units for that amount. Perfect. Charger Makoa has immobilized while Channel Sun is active, but basically it makes a giant beam of light, so enemies in the area and line of sight take 4 damage and are disarmed for a turn. Rebuilder Texo is just a healer, but if you've already got full health, they heal by 3 instead. And Cloaker Tozy means that basically you can't shoot our units within a certain range except for Tozy itself. So to just try this out, I'm going to jump into an AI game and just have a little bit of fun. If you guys are enjoying this, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. Everything you can do to support the channel is really, really appreciated. I'm putting, as much time and effort into this as I can do. I really do think it's, a great thing to be able to play, basically. And I just really wanted to, hopefully have you guys enjoy this as much as I can. And yeah, let's see what we get. I'm probably not going to be able to play all of the units this game. I'm very much just going to play whatever feels right at the time. I'm going to try and save up for some of the bigger ones if things go to plan. But really, I don't know what's going to work, I don't know what's not, I don't know if the AI is going to be on board. And also there's loads of new game mechanics as well, so loads of things about the game itself has changed, so we might need to take that into account as well. So don't worry if this seems like a bit of a weird game. It's probably very unlikely to be representative of what happens when the new patch comes out, but it's what I've got, access to at the moment, and honestly, I think it'll be fun just to dive straight in and try it out. I used to be the sort of person that will always go and sort of research things loads and loads in advance. However, after playing Magic the Gathering at one point, I realised that I was having so much more fun with the new sets when I didn't realise what was in them. So just diving straight in and experimenting is much more fun for me. Okay, nice little clean animations on these, so they're slightly cleaner than they were last time.
Opponent's turn.
There's the health bars here, which is always interesting, because I know that some people really like the health bars and some people don't. For me personally, I think so far I'm not as big of a fan of the health bars. I'm not sure how I feel about this movement new addition. I think I kind of like it. As long as it does go glow green when it's my turn, that's pretty reasonable. Now if I remember rightly, we should be able to act immediately with our units, but maybe they are no longer able to move. I think that's what we're doing, what we're working with. Or maybe the AI doesn't work. Awkward. Hello. We're gonna click some fan doors at you. No.
It's but a scratch.
Oh, I was literally just giving up and then something happened. Of course that's the case. However, because I'm the sort of person that likes to make sure these things are as clear as possible. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to make everything sunshines and rainbows. Like there are difficulties with the game, but that doesn't mean that we have to hide them. We can just appreciate them what they are. Maybe the devs see this and they can look at changing that in the future. So I'm going to leave that in. It was awkward. It's not really what I wanted to have happen, and of course it happened the moment we pressed the concede button. But again, I think it's all part of the authentic experience. So I'm not going to stop recording. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to come back a bit later on. I'm just going to carry on where we are. Ooh, that's a new model for Gardner Joe. That's so much more stylized, but it's a bit less detailed than I'd ideally like. I think the one in the current version, I suppose the other problem is they've been talking about how there's a lot of issues with the unit, basically silhouettes not looking unique enough. So maybe this is a sort of a step towards that as a goal as well. I do like this new animation here. Also, for anyone who hasn't played the experimental server in a while, the game now has a sort of a push and pull mechanic. So essentially what we've got is we're going to have these sides here are going to be points. As we capture points, they're going to sort of basically get held the same way as normal. Let's go with nuisance. Pop it over here. In fact, let's grav disc ourselves first a bit. Grav disc this way. Do we get a line of sight? Not with any reasonable chance. And we're going to pop nuisance down just over here. See, as you can see, nuisance can now attack immediately, which is quite cool, but it can't move. So charge now lets you move immediately, but now all units can attack instantly. So I'm going to forget this. I'm very confident of it, but I think that's okay. Okay, so they're deploying their plant. And is that Deadeye? Yeah, that's Deadeye. There we go. And they get the attack onto us. Okay, they did miss, that's nice, even with the accuracy buff. This boost is interesting.
You have a 1-point lead.
I have a 1-point lead because I held this one objective at the start of the turn. Now, what we want to do here is start just dealing damage. So if we can poke this and electrify it, it at least stops things coming ahead and sort of moving on to us quite as much. I actually think what we're going to do here, I wonder how big Charger Makoa's range is, but so yeah, here we go. So we can now deploy around our own units, which is really interesting. I'm still not quite sure whether I think that's the right choice or not, but also I remember actually if we leave this point, I believe we still control it now. So I'm actually just going to move over here and grav disc ourselves into a different direction and just try and apply a little bit more pressure. So grav disc over here, go for the shot. We did get it, and we'll pop the sleeper mine down here just to inconvenience them a little bit more. Okay, so they're going to get that point, which then neutralises it back to.
No one is in the lead.
Yeah, there we go. So back to 0 points, and now the opponent has to try and figure out how to take us off of these points. You also get points, I believe, for killing enemy units, and that is really going to add up. So yeah, so they've got. So they no longer electrified, is it? For one turn. Oh, so when taking. So I would have thought every time they take an action, they get hit. Okay, so that was relatively inconvenient, but they've taken that point now apparently.
You have a 1-point lead.
Oh, it's neutral. Sorry, that's what it is. It's just neutral. So
Can I help?
we can just build a bit of terrain here, which is funny. Like this can move a million miles anyway. What can we do? Can we hit the enemy Deadeye very easily? No. So let's just. I love that little teleport there. We're going to start moving forwards. And you know what we can do here is we can just try and block off a bit of terrain there.
Breaking records and hearts.
We can grav disc this little pile here. And now the mines explode for loads, I believe. Yes. Ah, 3 damage, and they got into contact with that. So now we can just kill Deadeye, which puts us again a little bit closer to the lead. There we go. We get another point.
Well done, Captain. You have a clear point
And
advantage.
what do we want here? Rebuild a Texo, charge a Makoa, or save it up. Honestly, we can't use any of these this turn anyway, so there's not really much point to put it down. Let's just save it and try and
Opponent's
contest
turn.
here.
You have a 1-point lead.
So there we go. So they're still building plants, or buffing their plants.
This place have LA?
And what's this going to pull? Maybe we can just pull this guy? This sludge pile looks great, by the way. It's a shame we can't paint those at the moment. I guess they did pull it.
With you till the end.
Interestingly, so are they 7 max health, are they? Yeah, see here it's all because I can't see what the max health is for the enemy.
You have a 2-point lead.
I have a 2-point lead. Okay, so what do we really want to do here is probably just try and take out their crankbait. There you go, crankbait. That's what I'm talking about. I can't deal with it anyway, so it's fine. Oh, we got airborne. Okay, nuisance has airborne. That's good to know.
Remembering stings.
So let's go for that. We'll just pop this over here. And now we've got 9, so what can we go for? Zapradenki is awesome. Salvager is also awesome. I mean, I really like the idea of the Reti Wrangler though. Let's pop that here and see if we can fire in my laser. Okay. Ooh. That's quite long range. I mean, we've got to just fire lasers here, don't we? I'm sure it lets Beatrice attack us, but that's not the point.
Opponent's
They're
turn.
gradually
You have a
neutralising us, but
1-point
if we can deal with this, we start coming back in terms of points. Yeah, they can hit here. Yeah, and if they do an attack, they also lose. More plants, this is fine. Okay, I'm liking this. There's some really fun things. I do think the game in general needs some cheaper units. That's one of the biggest things that I think needs to be a big change. So if they attack, I was going to say, the attack doesn't go off,
You
they
have
just
a clear point advantage.
completely go and die. Okay, so we've now got 2 points. So I believe now,
Your turn.
if we just
You
kill
have a 4-point
an
lead.
enemy unit, we win the
Breaking
game.
records and hearts.
So can we do that? What if we push this into range? We'll shoot here. We will attack here. Come on, attack.
Almost destroyed it.
Sure. Well, while we're waiting for that, oh, we can't spray gun very well. Oh, there we go, we've got it. We'll pop that down over there, and let's go with. Let's make everyone nice and safe, and bring out a Cloak of Tozy. Oh, are we actually? Oh, Reti Wrangler Mart is super slow. Okay. So we're going to just Reti launcher these. Oh, because we reduce speed, don't we? Okay.
I just fed you.
So we've got 6 now. We just move away slightly.
Drinks just go right through me.
Spray gun. Can we make any terrain that's worthwhile? Not really. Can we grav disc anything worthwhile? Not really either. Let's just pull these 2 together over here.
Friends forever.
There we go. Trigger it a bit more. Make it even closer to getting some damage dealt.
Opponent's turn.
So
You have
it's
a
super
3-point
unlikely
lead.
that they can survive here, and then if we can just take these objectives, we're just going to start winning this game right away. Okay, so there's Beatrice lining up.
Let's set the stage.
They're hitting themselves with Twirly. It's going to buff up Beatrice. See, you can see how the pace of this game has changed so much. But there we have it. That takes us up to 5. And then I believe that over here, this is going to explode, and that should be the end of the game for us. Oh, we just scored it out anyway. There we go.
Get your Zach
Do you know what? That was
Rich
really
back.
fun. We got to use some of the new units. We got to try out some of the new mechanics. For anyone who hasn't seen Experimental in a while, this is some of the sort of changes that might be coming to the live version later this month. And honestly, I think they're really, really cool. I'm going to be talking about this in a couple of future videos, so keep an eye out for them. But for now, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you please do like the video. Drop a comment. I love hearing from you. It really does brighten up my day every time someone drops a comment in there. And other than that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to work for 500 subscribers before I get married in October. That would be fantastic. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And most importantly, have a good day.